will share my story with you. First, let's go back to 2001. My wife and I are on year 3 of our marriage. Everything seemed pretty good. I was a tech consultant flying cross-country, and she was starting her career with a big jump from a small establishment to a big firm. I wrap up a 9-month stint at a client site and come home to a water disconnect notice. Weird as she does the bills. I grab her computer and AOL Instant Messenger, is open, and a long chat with a guy at work is open with several saved. I immediately feel gutted and buy and install a software to monitor goings-on. Turns out, coworker's wife is pregnant, and he and my wife are planning a little getaway to San Francisco Father's Day weekend. I'm gutted. She lets him know that she has vaginal herpes, which douses the flames for a few days. Needless to say, I'm so glued to my computer waiting for the spyware updates that it starts to take a serious toll on my mental health. Fast forward a few weeks and the trip is back on. I confront my wife, who gaslights the shit out of me. I beg her not to go. She goes and stays with a friend first night, and then the guy the second night. I spend the night calling every hotel in San Francisco trying to find her. Blow up her phone, which is off. The next morning she calls and is getting on an earlier flight, comes home, and the asshole calls her as she walks through our front door. Gaslighting continues. Nothing happened. July rolls around and our birthdays and 3rd anniversary are a few days apart. I get her into main character and she shows up late every time. By this time I've hacked into her Yahoo account created just for the affair and start printing all communication. My lovely wife was good enough to save all the chat logs to her work computer so I could email them to myself while she was sleeping. July 9th, less than a week after our 3rd anniversary, arguably the worst day of my life. She is going out with work friends, so I head downtown and catch the two of them walking back to their office. I slam car in park and sprint to office a few blocks away, and she is outside without him. They never wanted badge swipes to be close together. I confront her, and she says she needs to go talk to him. I let her and agonize for 90 minutes in my truck behind her office. She finally says she's ready, so I pick her up and get verbally abusive. I told her unless she tells me what happened, I'll drive down the highway as far as my fuel will take me. Insert more gaslighting here. I finally turn around to head home to see what emails will transpire. Sure enough, she goes to sleep, and off to Yahoo I go. Shitbag sends email apologizing for finishing so fast and not being able to get it up again. I wake her up and show her the email and all the info I've collected with the software. She finally comes clean about San Francisco and sleeping with him. Still an MC and not making much headway, I give her an ultimatum that she needs to move out or stop. Of course, there is one more business trip with a female colleague and shitbag shows up. She finally tells him she needs to stop, and things go dormant until 9/11 when he calls to check on her. More dormancy until I go to break into his house and chicken out, so I cut his cable. Actually removed a foot-long section. He calls her furious. More dormancy seemingly for months until I find his resume on her computer. No more spyware, just frequent checking. My wife is now pregnant, so after a OB checkup, I offer to drive her to his house so she can meet his wife and child, daughter now 22. She declines. Repeated in their discussions was how he couldn't wait to be there when they had kids together. This played over and over in my head when my first daughter was born, 2012, and I am still resentful as hell. He moves to the West Coast, and my wife and I have a trip planned to Arizona. I book my ticket with a layover in LA so I can go talk to his wife. Get to LA, wife is not home, so I go to his office and floor is locked off. Ran out of time to wait for either. 2014, cleaning our house out for construction, now have 3 kids, started a business, and am on top of the world. Find a box of files from wife's work. Wouldn't you know all her communications I wasn't privy to are neatly printed out? Totally guts me. The affair continued from mid-December through September of 2002, which encompasses the first 2 trimesters of my wife's pregnancy. He yelled at her when she got pregnant, "You said you weren't sleeping with him anymore, you've ruined our plans." She sends him a consolatory note that she went to the abortion clinic with her sister and was unable to go through with it. She tells him she loves him on my birthday. More MC ensues as I agonize over whether child, age 11 at this point, is mine for weeks after finding the file and confront her. Then she gets diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. Main character over the fight to survive is on. 9 years after the file and 22 after finding out about the affair, and the shitbag is back in my city for his daughter's graduation. At this point, this story has come to an end. Leave a comment if you think the main character should have a confrontation with his lover or even get revenge on him.